Don't say because I have a family to support, will I get an opportunity to move forward? Will I be promoted? Go and ask for it.
Women are making headlines, breaking barriers. They're speaking up, leaning in, and swearing by a go-getter attitude. Yet, why does the idea of personal and professional success seem like a losing battle for women? I'm Mamta Mody, the editor of Twinkle India, and it gives me great pleasure to introduce you to two women who have shattered the rungs of male-dominated ladders. I'd like to introduce you to Radhika Maheshwari, the Chief Financial Officer of Bacardi India, and Jaya, the General Counsel of Bacardi India, who are going to tell us what we can do to close the gender gap in corporate organizations and the power of female role models and how they can inspire change. So welcome, ladies.
Thank you,
Thank you, Mamta.
Radhika, I'd like to start off with you. You were one of the first female leaders in your organization in 2012. Tell me, how do biases affect women in the workplace?
So I'll start by putting an analogy to it. You know, imagine you're in a race and someone puts weights on your legs and you are made to run with people who don't have that. You would have to put 2x effort to, just to perform and also reach the finishing line. That's what happens when biases are there. Because when someone starts with a position of bias, you just are not performing but also proving yourself. When hiring happens, the person doesn't look at the CV as a basis the merit or basis education or experience. What they look at the CV is, she's a woman, or she might go for a maternity leave or a wedding leave, or she might have kids. All those baggages, when you start screening the CV, you don't see the merit. And hence, that's the biggest bias I feel which needs to shed. Because once women are in, I'm telling you, they would outshine, they would outperform.
I think, yes, I agree with Radhika said that getting in, I think retaining a women talent also becomes a challenge at times. You would see a lot of entrants when they start their career, but in the senior or the mid-level, they start dropping in. Maybe because of the culture we are in, it is expected that a woman is supposed to support a family, and therefore they drop while going ahead in their career journey.
Does a glass ceiling truly exist? What are some of the things you think women can do when aiming for a leadership position?
My personal view, I have not faced a challenge. Maybe I'm those lucky enough or fortunate enough people who have got good mentors. But definitely one point I want to say that it does exist. And just to give you a small example, when a woman goes on a maternity leave, a lot of organization, while they're evaluating on a year-end appraisal or the review, they don't consider those women who've gone on the leave or have come back from the leave for the promotions, which to me is the right time now for us to stand up and change. Even if the woman's performance for next 6 months, she should be given that enough opportunity to move ahead.
I really resonate to what you said. I won't say there's a glass ceiling, but the bigger problem, like what Jaya highlighted as well, is that, this leaking pipeline at the mid-management level. Ironically, for women, what happens is that your social commitments, your motherhood, your family advancements, as well as career opportunities, there's a time when both are working simultaneously, and which is when a lot of the talent really fizzles out and you tend to choose between the two. I think that's an important thing that needs to be really plugged in. And I can tell you from a Bacardi perspective, we have a lot of policies around flexible working, work from home, allowing flexibility to choose when, how much to work from home or work from office, and also the environment that is being provided, which really helps women foster.
That's very interesting to hear, because I truly believe organizations and a lot of senior leadership are really leaning in and supporting the success of women in the workplace. They're making more space for women at the table to make sure, they're getting to that senior leadership position. But I also think that there's a requirement for the cultural shift to happen. So even within organizations, there needs to be a cultural shift for women to thrive. What are some of the cultural shifts you think would be required?
I don't think it's only the cultural shifts which are required at the workplace. I think the cultural shifts are required when we raise the men or the boys in our family to start off with. And I'll give you my personal example. I have 2 boys. When I was young and I had a younger brother, my mom always used to say, okay, if you have to cook something, go and cook for your brother. I made sure both my boys knows how to cook. I make sure that both my boys knows how to take care of the house. When we start from there, and give those opportunities to the boys to understand that women and men are equal. I think then only the equality starts.
People should know what their biases are. They know how to identify that and also work upon that as a organizational culture. And I'll keep on bringing Bacardi into it because, you know, it's been 10, 11 years now with Bacardi. We do put a conscious effort to do that. There is a training program that all of us have gone through, which is about biases. And it's not only like a tick in the box, but we also have it as a part of our individual commitments. So I think that needs to change. Policies, processes, or everything can be done. But till people start thinking in that or on those lines, it won't change.
So sometimes as senior leaders, you know, I think it would come on to you to kind of change and influence perceptions. So how do you walk into a room and make yourself heard and feel confident while doing it?
Speak up. Okay, don't hold your thoughts. When you're in a boardroom, be prepared. Do your homework well. If you're confident, maybe once you're not heard, twice you're not heard, third time definitely you will be heard.
And you should have allies, you know, in the organization. Like I have heard, you know, we can just talk to each other and we can just bounce off ideas. And also when we are sitting in a boardroom, that eye contact, that helps.
Really helps. Frankly, when I joined Alcobev, this is my first Alcobev experience. Before that, I had worked with FMCGs. I had no clue a line like this exists, that it's a male-dominated industry, right? But when I entered Alcobev and I kept on hearing that it's a male-dominated industry, it's a male-dominated, I don't see that. In our office, I think we have more than 40, 45 primas, or more than maybe 60 now. In the leadership team, if you see me, Radhika, 2 of us out of 9 people, it was a male-dominated industry, but now things are changing. Earlier there was issues that, for example, if someone has to come to this account in the night, people would prefer a male person doing that role. Today we have primas who are taking up this role by themselves. So the point is, let us decide. If we think this is the right way, we will do it.
So what's your advice for women who want to be leaders?
Grab the opportunity, go with the flow. Just don't think about yourself as a woman, and hence there are, you know, things attached to you. You are the best person to perform the job that you've been given and do that outshine.
Own up your career. Have those career discussions. Do not have self-doubt. Don't say, because I have a family to support, will I get an opportunity to move forward? Will I be promoted? Go and ask for it. My advice to young women, people, please own up your career. You are no less, you are no different, and go and get it.
Great, thank you so much. These are such inspiring words and such good advice. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much, Mamta.
Thank you, Mamta, for having us.